What's going on, everybody? This is splitintwo coming at you guys with the 0.20 update patch. First off, we have all new production reworked parts. You can see here we have the jaw crusher. This thing has been reworked. It's much smaller than before, and they've added on the whole new flair of the new production pieces. Here we have the cone crusher as well. You can tell that's also been shrunk down quite a bit and condensed with all new skin. Here we have a new piece, which is the trommel, but you can tell it's stripped pretty clean. This is called the drop trommel. It'll come out one end in the other, and then it'll drop down the center for all your little needs that you might need for your new wash plant. Also, we have the, well, this is a splitter. You can see it goes from 1 to 2. And this will help you out with all your building needs. You can see it goes up in here. 2. And right next to it, well, one pipe comes in, 2 goes out to make your all your wash plants and all your new building stuff way more streamlined. We also have the merger, which will go from 2 to 1. You can see all the new models have changed as well. These are all new pieces. Then we have all new corner pieces for the roofing and building. We have them inverted as well, so that way you could use them as hoppers, or you can use them as roof pieces, or just generally make your buildings more aesthetically pleasing. We have them in cement, and they are also in steel, which is paintable, which we'll go over later. And then there is also, you can see these are just really nice corner cap pieces. You have the wood as well. The wood looks nice. You're not able to paint the wood, but you can paint the steel. That is very, very, very handy. Something that we have been wanting for quite a while in the game. And you can see them in the upper parts up there. You can also see the window tiles as well. We actually have window panes, which is great. We painted this whole thing up. This is actually what the new trommel looks like. Now you can tell it's the trommel because the barrel is black. Even though that I painted the thing, the actual base of it. And then you have the sorter. You can tell it does not have that long neck on it anymore, and it's capped off at the bottom, and your material goes in, and it's pretty much awesome. You can tell it's a sorter by the silver barrel. And then you also have something that you guys have been waiting for a really long time, which is the new conveyor pieces. You have the 4, and then we have a 2. The direction, it shows the direction on it, and you can also still drop things on the top, as well as the 2 and the 1. That's going to come in extremely handy with our builds and making them look very nice and clean. You can find all these parts in the building. You can see that we have multiple concrete now. We have standard concrete. You can see we have all these pieces now. We also have more ramp pieces, which we'll show you here in a second. There's also rough concrete look, which is really nice, depending on what you're going for. We have polished concrete for if you want nice polished concrete floors. We also have a concrete camphor block, which is something that has a beveled on the edges, so it looks like a little bit more of like a tiled look. Then we have all the new steel paintable pieces here. All the stuff in this category can all be painted. So you can paint this whatever you would like, and we'll go over the painting system here in a second. The new ramp blocks. Okay, so we're going to show you guys how these work. Normally I start off with a concrete block, and there's a 1, a 4, 2 of 4, 3, and then 4 of 4. This is the order. The order is what they're placed in, from biggest to smallest. So how you pretty much use these is really simple. I'm going to grab a block, and I'm going to just go to snapping mode, which will show you guys all of that here in a second as well, the new build modes. I'm going to switch to snap mode. I'm going to snap a block in just to kind of show you guys a reference, and then I'm going to switch it to block number 2, which you can place these manually if you want to and then snap onto them, or you can do them in the new world grid mode as well. So I'm going to just snap in just to kind of show you guys a little bit of the new ramps. The angle is really nice, a nice gradual angle. Then I'm going to switch to the second block, and then we're going to go to the third. And then the fourth, which is supposed to be the finisher. Well, wait a minute, Split. How do I get that distance? I can't snap another block on there. It's gonna act weird. What you do is you snap a block anywhere on the side or in the front. Unless you're in world grid mode, which you can snap it in the angle that it's at and needs to be. But what I do is I snap it down below, one on the side, come underneath, and snap 2 in. Then you can delete these. Boom, boom. And now you have a wall face to snap onto again to finish your curve or your arc. All right, so then you can go back to the first one. Snap it in. Snap in another. Go down to the next one. Snap that in. And so on and so forth until you have a nice curve into the ground. And that is how you build with the new ramps, if you guys are looking for that. That way you guys can build all your stuff and you don't get stuck. It's a little easier on the vehicles to get up and out. You can also fill in these under gaps if you want to as well. You don't have to. I absolutely love the new way the cement looks in the game. The different types you can do for the flooring, rough. But see, you have a nice gradual slope now, other than that extremely steep one that we used to have. So the vehicles won't bottom out and get stuck as easy. And we have a whole new paint system. This is absolutely awesome. As you can see in the description for the update, it said that, well, we were originally supposed to only get 3 colors, which was teased to us, but now we have all the colors that you can buy in the store. So I'm going to show you guys how to use the painting mechanic, and that way you guys get to decorate in your guys' stuff. First off, you're going to want to go up to the parts. Then you're going to go to paint, and any of these paints here that you can see, you can paint pretty much all of your production pieces, as well as all of your building pieces. So you're going to add some colors. Doesn't matter whatever you want, just add whatever it is. Then we're going to go ahead and make sure you check out. You're going to need one for every piece that you're going to paint. So this can get really expensive if you have big buildings from painting. So make sure you get out there and farm a lot of money. So we're going to take all of these down. We're going to drag them into our toolbar if they didn't spawn there already. That way you can paint, you can click through your options of your toolbar and paint all of your building stuff and your production. So once you have it in your inventory, you can now select them, and you can see that you have a paint option now by clicking by default. Your mouse and keyboard, you can left click, and you can paint any color you want by just looking at it and pressing the button. And you can paint these in any color you would like, any pattern you want, and you can replace them. As you can see in the toolbar, it's using them. So like I said, this can get kind of expensive. You can change it to like a nice black, black and yellow, black and purple, whatever your paint scheme is for your mine. I know a lot of you guys have like colors that you guys go by, maybe sports teams, football, it doesn't matter what it is. You can paint it however you like. You can't paint the window frames as of right now. And there's a couple pieces that aren't paintable you saw up in the other building, but those will be probably fixed before this even comes out. So this is absolutely great. I love the new painting mechanic. I'm so glad that they changed it to be where we can use all the colors in the game to match our equipment and do whatever we really want. But it makes the buildings look so much better. And I think that this system is great. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below how you guys feel about some of these changes. Also, too, remember, like I said, you could paint all of the production pieces in whatever color you want. As long as you can buy the paint, you can paint it. So just want to make sure we remember that. As well as, so you can see like the production, we have the containers here, and you can just click on the containers and paint them whatever you would like. The all new upgraded building system. I'm going to show you guys how to use this first off. First, have any building material. Hit E, and it'll change the mode that you want to build in. Now let's go ahead and show you guys the different modes and how they work. All right, we have free build mode, which is kind of interesting considering we had this before, but it was a key that most people didn't really know about. And now it's actually a part of the actual menu itself. So if you are in free mode, and you can see by clicking and activating free, you can rotate as normal. You can place a block, and then you can also place a block within a block. Sometimes it'll snap into it if you get into a snap zone. It's a little finicky right now, but you can get them to angle in and build like cool like curved things, different shapes and things like that. So that's really nice to actually have its own mode instead of some hidden key that we don't know about. So it's really nice that we have this. And you can see how you have the little angle. You can kind of make these curved. You can do whatever you want, no matter how many blocks you kind of want to stack around and build some cool shapes and stuff like that. Now we have the snap building mode, which is something that we're all familiar with. This is pretty much how the game has ran since the new reworked building. And you can pretty much snap and then snap anything to it very quickly. So if you look at the corners, you can snap up, snap side, snap down by looking at the different corners. This takes a little bit of getting used to. Some players have a little bit of a problem with it, but once you figure it out, it's very fast and super easy to build large structures like you saw in the back. That didn't take me more than 20 minutes to build. So you can build things really quickly with the old snap, and you can spam them in. See, like that, no problem. And just fill in your gaps. Or there's many different ways you can do this a lot faster that I've gone over in the past. But this is the same old snap right there. Let's go ahead and get into the new world grid mode, which is a lot of you guys were asking for. All right, now you have the world grid build mode. This is really cool. As you can see, it's trying to snap to the world grid. Imagine a grid of cubes that are 2 by 2 by 2, and you can see that it's actually snapping in. So one thing that's really nice is you can place a block, right? And that way you know exactly how many squares it is away, and all your other stuff will line up correctly to the world grid. See, now my buildings back there are not snapped to the world grid. Those are free built. But if I was going to be building things in the future, I'm going to be wanting to snap things into the grid, so that way they line up. So if I put it a couple tall, I know that these are going to line up 400 blocks away and still be in the same orientation. They're not going to be a little weird, a little off, or anything like that. It makes it really easy to build over big distances and still stay in a line. Like if I come all the way over here, I'll show you guys. It's really cool. So then that way I can go, okay, well, I know that's lined up there. I don't really need to kind of eyeball it, and you can, but it's still there because we're snapping to a grid that's across the whole world. And your guys are used to this, and many other games have this style of building, and it makes it so much nicer because at the very end of your build, and you're coming to the end, you're placing that last block, and you go, oh, I'm pissed because I'm off by a quarter of an inch, and my OCD is going to make me break something. So leave a comment if you guys love this new system. Okay, this is kind of a controversial one. A lot of people get very upset about this. This is the new controls and rework. The controls have been really finicky. They've been having, a back and forth battle with the controls. But as you can see now, it's a lot more streamlined and finding your, all your stuff with your keybinds. You can add combinations to it by clicking it, like saying holding down a modifier. If I want to add, say, shift to this or anything else, but we have a general default keyboard layout now, as well as a controller, and joysticks are kind of up in the air because those things you're gonna have to program as well. But you can click the options as well, and you can bring up all the different sensitivity tabs. As you can tell, controllers have their own default. I have an Xbox controller plugged in, and it seems to work good. Do I like the controls? That's not up to me because I use my own set. So I use different keys, but you guys all might want to jump into the game and just not have to worry about setting it and just look in there and find out what things are at. So that's really nice that there's actually a default set kind of going on. As you can tell, that's responsive to my mouse. You can see the things moving around, but there's all kinds of new options for changing some of these, like the excavator. I changed some of these to my own personal liking that I've been using for years. I changed my modifiers around as well. So this is really nice because some people, sometimes they just don't get saved and they get deleted. So a lot of you guys have been having that issue. So I know a lot of you guys, this is a very controversial one with the updates. You guys are like, oh, it's constantly being changed or updated, or then it doesn't work and it works. It doesn't work and it works. It's a hassle. They're trying to give everybody as many options as they possibly can. So it's going to be very difficult to get it right and look correct as well. So I changed all these things around. You have the character, you have the toolbar. You can change all of this stuff around if you don't like it. That's one thing that's nice, is there's so much controllability and stuff like that. So hopefully all the bugs and stuff like that, I'm sure there's going to be a few little things that need to be fixed here and there, but that's a big one for a lot of people. And let's get into the next one. All right, this is another one from one of the last builds that was a little irritating. Was the cameras. The cameras were changed and a lot of people really disliked them. It was making people motion sickness. It seemed like there was a lot of modes that didn't need to be. But we have a lot of them are a lot less floaty, it seems like. It's hard to describe what was going on. Like, this is the focus driver cam, and you see how it kind of floats around. Some of the stuff it seemed like it was like a little bit too cinematic feel for some people, but a lot of people had a really hard time playing with the new camera changes and things like that. But as you can tell, there's in-cab, you can look around. We have all the normal standard cams. We still yet to have an actual follow, but we have the focus in-cab, which is nice because when you look, and I look down, I dig down, it looks down. I don't have to do that. It does it on its own. So some of these changes are really nice. There's still a lot of, I think there's a lot of camera stuff that needs to happen and change a little bit, but that'll happen over time. So at least we're back to someone that's a little bit more, less make you want to throw up. But dudes, that is everything that has to do with this patch. There's a lot to this patch. It doesn't seem like it, but there's a lot of production and building and things that change the game for the better. It's a very high quality of life patch, as well as some backbone things that you just really can't show off. But as far as the building of this big wash plant, this is what I call the Hornet. And I like the yellow and black. I made it a dual so I can fill my trucks. But dudes, bros, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys soon. Peace.